I want to go right into our first wonderful segment. And the Gabriel Code is going to change how you watch movies. And today we're going to apply it to a movie that was made in 1986 called The Mission. So we need to find out, is the mission good? Is it dangerous? Is it harmful? And that's what we're going to talk about.
Here we go.
I'm ready to rock and roll with this. There is probably not a better movie poster than that. That's a,
Yeah, you have that cross
if
crucifix.
you haven't seen the movie, I'm going to tell you right now, watch it. You need to watch this. But what is The Mission? The Mission, again, it was made in 1986. Jeremy Irons plays a Spanish Jesuit who goes into the South American wilderness to build a mission in the hope of converting the Indians of that region. Robert De Niro plays a slave hunter who is converted and joins the Jesuit mission. And when Spain sells the colony to Portugal, they're forced to defend all that they have built up against these Portuguese aggressors. And also a young Liam Neeson plays Father Fielding. And so you've got this group of Jesuits, and there's probably a lot of spoiler alerts because
we're going to spoil it.
We're going to just spoil it right now. So
please watch. It is so good. It's so affecting. It's just, I see why everyone's put it on their lists.
This is the
first time I've seen it.
First time I've seen it. This is probably the 5th or 6th time that I've seen it in this recent watching. And I'm telling you, it gets better every time.
There's a scene in the beginning, because this is I don't know if it's harmful or dangerous, because there's some scene of it's either adultery or fornication. I can't remember which, but it's like a really brief little clip.
It's super brief.
And I don't remember what they show or not.
I do.
I don't know.
I actually, even though we have a screening, we have VidAngel, and I put in promo code Crusade. So actually I still have a trial.
You used our code.
I used our code Crusade.
Thanks.
And I got a free trial. It's like a 300-day trial. It's not. It's 30.
Oh, 30 days. That's it.
30 days.
It used to be 15.
Well,
Now
yeah,
it's
they
30.
doubled it. Here's the thing, Timothy. I purposely read up on it because VidAngel takes it out, because I told him to take out any bare behinds, right? And
I see. Like naked behinds. Not
B-E-A-R, but B-A-R-E. I'm okay to say.
I think at least half of our audience thought you meant the bear.
Like a black bear.
I'm from Michigan. We got bears.
We have black bears here.
The first thing Timothy thought
bears?
of
We have
was
black bears
a
here.
bear behind. That's the first thing he thought of when he said
Well, they're
that.
very furry, so they're okay.
They are okay.
They're very furry.
Why don't you go over the principles? Because when we get it, it's time to get into we're rating this movie so you can know what's in it. So you can know before you watch it,
Yes.
what are the harmful effects or unhealthy effects? Is it a good movie? Is it dangerous? Is it harmful?
I'm gonna
Let's go over the
answer your
principles.
question later, though, Tim. Okay, so here's the beauty of the Gabriel Code, is that we have these 5 key aspects. These 5, what's the noun I'm thinking
Principles.
of? Principles. Thank you, Cameron. So number 1, God must be on the horizon. All right, this can't be like, it's sci-fi. God doesn't exist. It's only science, or whatever the case may be. No, God must be on the horizon. Goods must be good. It's very simple. And evils must be evil. Very simple. Human dignity must be respected. All right. And finally, the human experience must be authentic. So I really want, Cameron, as a filmmaker, I think it's really important that you do a great job of explaining things, because film is your life. It's your lifeblood.
Mm-hmm.
If we were to cut you open, film is actually coming out of your veins.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's film reels all up and inside of me. Yeah.
So obviously, God is on the horizon. Makes sense. But is there anything else you want to explain about that?
Well, if your film, quote, goes there, if it deals with the question of God, God has to exist. Like, that's the first thing
Good.
that the popes talk about.
Right.
Because these aren't principles that we took out of our
yes.
bears' rear ends.
Nope. Even though they're furry, we did not do that.
These are principles we drew from mostly The Ideal Film by Pius XII. So, he speaks about these things at length. So God must be on the horizon. An example would actually be Interstellar, which they literally go to the extent of the universe and find, it was just us all along. It was just really science-y guys who were the others.
Just some old asparagus. Nothing to see here.
It was a swing and a whiff because it could have been so powerful to have an encounter with a divine or a spiritual being. Anyways, that's an example of God must be on the horizon. If you're going there, you have to deal with the reality, which is God.
Amen. Good. Goods are good.
That's good. Goes without saying. I mean, if it's a good thing like marriage, family, the priesthood, apple pie, right, Timothy?
Cherries, asparagus, all things Michigan.
They must be good.
They must be juicy and sweet.
You can't package them so they're actually look or appear evil.
Yeah.
Evils must be evil. So,
and I would say for evils must be evil, I would throw in there, unless you think it goes into another category. Hey, there are consequences of sin.
Yeah.
I mean, that.
Well, if there's not consequences, then the evil that's done is not really evil.
There you go. Right. So consequences for sin. These last two, I really want you to help explain. You and I have been talking about this so much, but I really want to talk about this here. And Timothy, weigh in if you'd like. Again, it's important to note, this isn't just something that we pulled out of a hat. These are coming from the 1955 document, The Ideal Film, written by Pope Pius XII. And that is the beauty of the Gabriel Code, right? Is that we are not just resurrecting the Hays Code, which we're going to talk about at some point in the future. We have the new and improved code, which is called the Gabriel Code.
Yeah, I really think it changes the way you watch movies. Like it's
changed the way that I watch movies. You and I have been talking about this now for months. And now when I watch a movie, I can't not think about these 5 principles. And it changes how I think about movies that I've watched in the past.
And it changes how we talk about movies too.
That's exactly right.
Film criticism is so often frustrating because it's like, man, I just really vibe. I vibe so hard. And you didn't vibe with it? Well,
man.
Teaches.
Bert and Ernie just look so good together. It's totally okay that they were in the same bed. It's fine.
By the way, Timothy, you can interrupt with any jokes at any time.
I think what's interesting is thinking about the way that the church has taken classical literature, Homer, Aeschylus, the Sophocles, the tragedians, and they've taken this great literature, which is pre-Christian, and they're calling on demon spirits. But what's interesting is that these factors that you're putting out are there. When Achilles rage in the beginning of Homer's Iliad, this is a critical moment where he's disrespecting the gods, he's disrespecting the priest because he's consumed with his rage, and then he goes through the entire Iliad, and we see the consequences of these things, and or like the tragedies. I think that like Oedipus Rex, Oedipus marries his mother, and he kills himself at the end, and all of this consumes him. It's the reality. It's a literature gives us contact with reality. And I think that's what's great about your code is that it's bringing forth this new mode of literature, which is film.
It is.
And we can see that even in these, and we could even look at other non-Christian literary traditions.
Right.
And this is, I think, true of these different literary traditions.
Are you worried about your financial future? Did you know nearly half of Americans who retire at age 65 are projected to run out of money during retirement? And what about long-term care? It's real and costly. Nearly 70% of people will need long-term care, with nursing home costs averaging over $110,000 a year. Don't have a plan? Now you don't need to worry, because there's Advocate Financial. Advocate Financial will help you secure your financial future. They have strategies to double your account value for long-term care protection. Imagine getting an extra $900 a month from Social Security. Imagine a retirement income that's guaranteed to last a lifetime. This isn't wishful thinking. These are real strategies that work for you. Advocate Financial is Catholic, family-owned and operated, and helps you take control of your financial future. Whether you want to lower your tax bill on a big payday or get strategies to give you strong stock market returns with zero risk, go to CatholicFinancialGuide.com. Don't leave your future to chance. Talk with an expert today. That's CatholicFinancialGuide.com. Terms and restrictions apply. CatholicFinancialGuide.com.
Here at Movie Crusade, we destroy bad movies. It's how we protect our families from the filth that Hollywood spews out. Gross image, I know. But if you want to fight back against the disease of wokeness and modernism, support the nonprofit that is bringing Catholic tradition to the world, Mass of the Ages. We produced 3 viral documentaries about the traditional Latin Mass, are training hundreds of priests to celebrate it, and are helping families all over the world attend it with our Latin Mass Finder. So go to massoftheages.fund to support the online resurgence of tradition. Go to massoftheages.fund. It's the only tax-deductible way to punch Hollywood in the face. That's massoftheages.fund.
And the last 2, human dignity. So speak to this. Cameron.
Yeah, human dignity must be respected. Most often applies to things like sex and violence in films. And you'd think, fornication, adultery does land in evils must be evil. Like these need to be dealt with in the right way. There needs to be consequences. But think of the actors and actresses in the movies. Like if you are participating in a thing, whether buying a ticket or as a filmmaker, writing a script where 2 people have to engage in simulated fornication, good. That's not respecting their dignity and the dignity of everyone working on this film.
Right.
And violence can be utilized. Tasteful is not the right word because violence is always supposed to be shocking. It's never supposed to be attractive. But it can be done in a way that doesn't glorify it. Like you think of Tarantino, with everything's in slow motion and there's blood everywhere and it's stylized and it. We were talking about this at breakfast. There's like rock music playing.
Yeah, committing murder to rock music.
Yeah, that would be examples of violating human dignity.
Right.
And then human experience must be authentic. So, this one catches a lot of the extra things like, you might say that a script is bad because it just doesn't imitate real life. It's just like you think of Jar Jar Binks in Star Wars, just like, that's not a real, or even, a lot of the writing in Star Wars, you might disagree with this because it was one of your favorite. I'm sorry. We don't need to get into that. I'm just saying like the human experience can be inauthentic in just a literary way. But then also things like faith cannot be affectatious. So they can't be shallow and purely emotional and reactionary. Like faith is deep and it's not like paint by numbers. Like you watch some of these Christian films where it's just like all you got to do is pray the prayer and then you're now a good person. It's like, no, that's not authentic. So that would actually be a dangerous element in film because you need to be a discerning person before you watch a film like that. So really now we need to answer the question with the mission.
Yes.
Are there any dangerous or harmful elements in the film?
And so let's go right to what you already brought up, Timothy, which was there's a scene in the first third of the movie where Robert De Niro has a fiance.
It's a shot. It's not even a scene.
You're right. It's a shot.
I'm just saying it's the brevity of it.
The brevity thing. I read it up and essentially looked at it, and it was thankfully there were no. Do you call if your butt is bare? Is that nudity? I guess.
Yeah. That's
okay.
nudity.
So there's it appeared that there might be one cheek of a female, like there's like a one cheek.
Yeah, I would just say partial nudity.
Yeah, partial nudity. Was it necessary? Absolutely not.
But I think for any actor on set, it would be full nudity. Like it's
yeah, I don't know how that works. Right.
So we really trashed Braveheart because they just explicitly showed full nudity.
Yes. Right.
This film did not. It was partial,
Right.
but very evocative, even though it was short. I would say like that scene
I would say though
is
that
dangerous, is how I'd put it.
Yeah, I would say it was harmful because I mean you can like David. We're gonna make a movie about King David committing adultery with Bathsheba, and
Yes.
we can shoot that whole thing, and none of the actors commit any sin whatsoever. Everyone knows what happened. Everyone knows what went on. You can do that with film. It's not that hard. You see two people walk into a bedroom. And
They didn't really need that shot.
You don't even need to have.
they did not need the shot.
It's
Especially in
completely
this-
unnecessary. I think it's harmful. There's no reason.
Yeah.
There's just there's some things like they're intrinsically evil to put inside your brain,
Right.
or for the actors to simulate. You cannot simulate that. You cannot simulate that sin. You have to show it with innuendo in terms of cinematic.
But what they were trying to do is they were trying to show that this character Felipe was had a thing with Robert De Niro, Rodrigo, his fiance.
They were engaged?
I read the commentary.
Oh, okay.
So I couldn't gather that, but I mean that's what the commentary said. So
Yeah, and it probably, for me, it does tread between dangerous and harmful, because with harmful, I want to be careful that, because what we're saying with harmful is you should not watch this unless it's filtered out.
Okay.
I do think, I mean,
I don't
well,
even
first of all,
remember the extent of it. So
it was
at least half of the population can watch it.
Yeah, I'm
And I think it was hidden enough that it's dangerous, right? Like I can imagine that, yes, you shouldn't put nudity in your mind, but this was partial and obscured. And so
I would call this
say it's very
I would say
dangerous.
this is dangerous.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm desensitized because there's so much filth that's out there.
Could be. Yeah. So you know what's in it.
Yeah.
That's one example.
That is one example. Let's go back to what the Hays Code wrote in 1930. Okay, so the Hays Code said that tribal nudity, as long as it was properly done and tasteful, that was acceptable actually, because that's how they lived. They wouldn't be wearing clothes because they're tribal Indians.
Yeah. So there is a lot of tribal nudity.
There's tribal nudity because they're literally in this tribe.
So normally I would say it's still harmful because of the dignity of the actress. However, I read that they hired real indigenous people to
Yes,
play those parts.
that's right.
So those non-speaking roles,
Yes.
I'm assuming they're all indigenous. So in that sense, it wouldn't be violating their dignity. That's how they live.
No, that's how they live. They don't know any better. So I wouldn't even call that dangerous because that's
I would say dangerous because you got to know yourself.
Oh, I see your point. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you say about all the tribal?
Tribal
breasts.
I'd say just take it out. It's not necessary. I mean, you can have women nursing babies without tribal nudity. I mean, women are nursing babies in the mass, but people don't see more of the breasts. So it's just I think it's not necessary. It's not really necessary to put that in. So to me, is it necessary for the literary effect to achieve the literary? No, it's not.
Sure.
So, if we're entering into dangerous territory,
Are you?
Yeah.
Well, this might be too pointed, but would you say you or your friends or you think of other intellectuals, would you say don't watch this movie because it has that in it?
Probably not.
Okay, so I would say it's dangerous. It's just like,
Yeah.
no, it's in there. But you're right. Like, you don't need it to communicate the story.
But our 14-year-old
But-
son, yeah, Ben, but BUT, there's only one T here. We were cognizant of our 14-year-old
That's
son.
true, yeah.
And we were like, well,
Yeah.
Joachim, go right back upstairs.
I
And he's just
understand that.
He's
Yeah.
like, I just walked downstairs. I'm like, you walked right back up.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to bring up one more example of a good that I think was diminished, which is the good of obedience. I'm interested in your thoughts about this, especially because, well, first of all, Jeremy Irons' character, what's his priest name? It doesn't matter. Jeremy Irons.
Yeah.
He displays such a level of heroic obedience.
Oh yeah.
I'm so affected by his choices and his actions. But then you have Robert De Niro, who is kind of devolving into his former ways. Now, there is an interesting interaction where Jeremy Irons, so De Niro asks for his blessing. And Jeremy Irons says, you don't need my blessing because if you're going against God's will, my blessing's not going to do anything.
That's right.
If you're doing God's will, then you're blessed by God anyways.
Yeah.
So it felt like it was kind of like to each his own. And maybe there's some truth to that, but I felt like if they just had Jeremy Irons' example, it would be like heroic obedience. I'm here for it. Was De Niro's disobedience or renouncing his Jesuit vows diminishing that good? Actually evil.
Well, I think that the importance is the reality of the moral ambiguity. This is why it's my favorite movie. It's because it's showing the reality of the human situation. Yeah. And so that whole situation is extremely complicated. And the Marxist narrative and even the church triumphalist narrative as well wants to reduce the complexity of that whole history into just good guys versus bad guys or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that this shows the complexity of that situation. I think that the treatment of obedience was perfect. I would make it. I never change anything there because of the great good. There's a great good that Jeremy Irons is pursuing to obey. And there's really probably, I mean, is there any greater shot in cinema when he's holding the Blessed Sacrament?
No.
There's probably, it's probably I mean, besides the Passion of the Christ, of course. I mean, this is like the greatest shot
It's
in
up
cinema,
there for
I think.
sure.
And then, but on the other hand, Robert De Niro's character is disobeying, and he's showing the complexity of the history where it was really, it wasn't as much shown in the film, but he kind of represents the tension in the colonial system, which was the priests were mainly protecting the Indians from slavery, whereas the lay people and many of the bad noblemen who came over, who were a lot of them were criminals coming over here and whatnot, doing as they pleased with the Indians. And so there was this tension between, should we defend the Indians, we give them rifles, and then should we do something to manipulate the bishops or the Pope to try to get our way and enslave the Indians or enslave the blacks? And so I think that it's showing the moral ambiguity of the situation. I think Robert De Niro is also a hero on the other hand. He's actually showing another aspect of the heroism of the entire historical context.
Now, I'll push back a little bit because films need to be made for the multitudes, for the average viewer. And I think you bring a lot of intellectual power behind your interpretation, and you're a history buff. So what I got from it, and what I think a lot of people will get from it, is you can obey or you can disobey so long as you think you're doing what's right.
Well, I think good literature brings them in contact with reality and causes them to wonder at reality. That's what the essence of philosophy is to wonder at reality. And so this is a film where someone leaves the theater and they begin to discuss the ethical implications, even an ordinary Joe Blow. So they may have that interpretation. I may have this interpretation. What matters is that we go deeper after the film. The film makes us go deeper. If it was just Jeremy Irons, I think that would just be too simplistic. It would not elevate them to consider the ultimate good. I think it would be too simplistic.
I see your point, Tim. I see your point, and I think that's a great point because I looked at it as Robert De Niro's character fell back into his old ways, but he did it out of love. It was more elevated than who he was at the beginning of the film. Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah. But he still chose. I mean, they had that when they had that encounter where he asked for the blessing. did not Jeremy Irons' character say something about, blood on your hands? Like he said something to that effect, like, don't let there be blood on your hands.
Yeah.
He said, get out. He
Yeah.
rejected it. He
Yeah.
said, get out. I mean, the reality is that this, in the film, so the story is showing the consequences of this decision, which was ultimately by the bishop, who was pressured by bad guys to make that decision. He made a bad decision, which ended up killing everyone and destroying everything that they did. So should you obey a bad decision, which ultimately the consequences are evil?
Yeah, I guess to your point, it's not like disobeying your bishop and just doing like mass wherever you want. Like it's disobeying to save lives.
Yeah.
So it's a level of I guess his disobedience, if we can call it disobedience, like maybe you could argue, well, you can only disobey a just or an unjust command. His disobedience is diminished from the fact that he was filled with charity towards the people he was trying to save. So I get that point.
Yeah.
I just wonder if the average viewer will kind of say like, well, I'm a De Niro guy.
Well, Cameron, do you think that the Indians were right to disobey the bishop and defend themselves?
Yes.
Okay, so you're saying the Catholic Indians could disobey the bishop and defend themselves against.
Yes.
Okay, but the priest couldn't disobey.
The Jesuit could not.
Okay, well, I don't think that's unreasonable since you say that the Catholic Indians at least could defend themselves.
Yeah.
Then that's.
You almost wiped the floor with me there. I felt back up against the corner.
I really thought,
like, oh no, he's bringing the heat.
That was
He's
good.
gonna trap me.
No, that was good. That's a good point, though. That's a good point.
But yeah, it's because the Jesuit
Well, they do
took
take
a vow of obedience.
Yeah, so
it's
I
like
mean,
you have.
and I can see your point. I mean, you could say that's probably reasonable to say that Robert De Niro broke his vow of obedience, so therefore he was sinning in that sense.
Because he actively killed people.
Yeah, well, and that's also unfitting for any priest to kill people in the first place, even in self-defense.
Yes.
That's another talk about for greater glory later. But
So for me, that's a subtle. I see where you're pointing. It's on the edge between good or dangerous to me. Like I see what you're saying, and I'm assuming that most people will probably draw good from those examples because at their core, they're both filled with charity. And it's not like he's disobeying to just go live in luxury or something. He's disobeying what is presented as just an absurd, command.
see, this is why Star Trek is so important.
Whoa!
Wow. How did we just go to that?
Oh my gosh.
I say beam me up, Scotty.
Because good literature presents the ethical, moral, greater good, and it presents different characters who are fighting about the moral good, and then it shows the consequences of each person's actions in the reality of their morality.
Sure.
This is what Star Trek does in every episode. But this is what it does because it shows De Niro's choice in his moral good and shows the consequences of all these different things.
But their consequences are the same. They both literally die 5 feet from each other. And so it's kind of saying, yeah, they ended up resting in peace, doing what they thought was good. But you would agree that what he did was coloring outside the lines a little bit.
Yeah, but it's just going to the depths of the reality of moral ambiguity, the moral ambiguity of the world, which is the reality of the world. It's that people with the same convictions or similar convictions are going to have a strong debate about what to do in a particular situation, and then they're going to try to pursue that good.
If at the end you had Irons die a peaceful death, like an immediate death, with very little suffering, and De Niro die kind of a violent death, like a very like aggressive death where he's suffering. I think that would be an excellent way to have handled it.
But that's not reality.
Yes, it is.
I think
All the bad guys have slow death, and all the good guys.
No,
have,
reality doesn't mean that it's like a documentary where everything happens like a paint by numbers.
But this is more like Aesop's fables type of literature, though. Like you want the good
No,
guys.
I think I think you keep everything the same. It's still masterfully done, but as they're shooting down De Niro, he's suffering and crying out. Maybe he cries out to Iron's character for his blessing, and he gives him his blessing at the end.
I see your point, but that to what Tim's saying is, I feel like that's what made the human experience is authentic. I felt like
Yes, that's true.
That the way that they portrayed this made this so authentic. But I also see where you're coming from. It's like, yeah, if his manner was different, but I still change nothing other than the half cheek
There is a half cheek.
Yeah.
No, it's in there. So I think we're in agreement. This film is dangerous, right? We're giving it the yellow.
I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say that there are aspects that are dangerous, but does that mean the whole film is dangerous?
Yes.
Okay.
All that means is know what's in it before you watch it. Healthy would mean go watch it.
Now, can you watch a harmful movie with VidAngel?
Yeah.
Yes.
Some of them. Most of them.
Because I mean, I would throw it through VidAngel for a half cheek. I don't want a half cheek.
No. I'm with you. Right.
So
there's no use of the Lord's name in vain.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right,
There's the half cheek.
Yeah.
There's the tribal nudity, which maybe my 14-year-old doesn't need to see any breasts,
Right.
let alone, and so
There's dangers in the film, so it's dangerous. That's all we're saying. It's not at a level of like there's dangers around every corner, but just there's some elements in it.
Would you say you
I
agree with
guess
that?
I'm defining harmful as you have to put it for VidAngel to watch it. That's what I'm defining harmful as.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to watch Braveheart unless I put it through VidAngel.
Totally.
Amen. Amen.
Whereas a dangerous film to me, you don't have to do VidAngel.
Agree.
Okay.
Are you saying with The Mission you have to watch it with VidAngel?
I would do that. Yes. I don't want.
Are you saying to everyone?
I mean, half cheeks. I mean, I don't want to watch half cheeks. I don't think anybody needs to see anybody else's butt. So that's just my. I guess I'm pretty
Tony
strict
wants
about
to say
it.
good. I want to say dangerous. You want to say harmful.
This is great. See, this is illustrating the moral ambiguity of reality. Just like
I could be wrong. It could have been all cheeks, but I think it was only one cheek. It was.
And I don't even want to watch.
I know you don't want to go. I don't want to see.
All it needs for it to be dangerous is it violates one principle in a slight way. It's dangerous.
Okay.
It has pitfalls. But I think you would agree some people can handle the one cheek.
Well, this brings up the fact that the church has allowed nudity in artwork.
More than one cheek.
Huge, a lot more than one cheek. The
True.
birth of Venus is just full frontal nudity. And I was talking to E. Michael Jones about this, like, why is this allowed? And it's like it's because it is presented with human dignity. Is it like it's nudity with human dignity? But there are still instances that were controversial. It's still controversial in the tradition, but there is a tradition of nudity in Catholic art.
My mom can watch the one cheek
because of the context of the cheek, and it was with his brother. Then I say you're right.
Yeah.
The cheek is totally unnecessary, and I don't want to see that cheek.
I didn't know I was going to see a cheek, and I would have cut out the cheek.
Yeah, it's unnecessary. But The Mission is a must-watch. Just watch it with VidAngel. Use promo code Crusade. If you liked that clip, which I'm sure you did, then check out our other clips. And don't forget to go into the comments section and hype this bad boy. Don't make me get Fat Cardinal. Hype it now.